All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I want to show you guys a recorded trade that I took on my E8 200K account. As you guys can see right here, right? This is Trade Locker. I have my account balance right here, so you guys know that this is a real E8 account. You guys can see I am in a live trade right now. Let's play this video. So the thing I want to pay attention to the most, you guys, the thing I want you guys to pay attention to is that, obviously I think I was on the wrong side of this trade. This was a counter trend trade, but I'm trying to show you guys how you can be wrong on the trade and still end up making a profit. You just have to know how to trail your stop, right? And then you have to know how to read price, right? So if you guys take a look over here, this is a breakaway gap. Now, as you guys can see, I have my take profit inside of this zone because I was looking for it to be a failed breakaway gap, right? So if you guys look up here, right, we had a swing high up here. Market goes up, creates this little fair value gap down there, and then it breaks through this fair value gap, right? So that is the first indication that we may see a little bit of a pullback. As you guys can see right here, I am looking to trail my stop loss as soon as we break below this swing low right here, you guys. And the reason why I want to, trail my stop as soon as we break below that swing low is because, if I am correct on the trade, I want to see price continue to go down aggressively as we break below this swing low. But you guys will soon see that, it's not really breaking down. Even right now, you guys can see how it's a little bit hesitant to break down, right? But one thing that was working in my favor at the time, this little green candle right here, this is an order block, right? Notice how price goes so far up into this order block, right? It goes almost to the very top of that order block. That right there is an indication that, hey, I may be on the wrong side. Now, just because I'm on the wrong side doesn't mean I can't make a profit, right? Now, I'm noticing how price is moving very slow. At this moment, I'm up about 20 points, but it's just moving very slow. I was only going for about 50 points in this trade. So notice how right here, once it dipped below that swing low, it rejected immediately. That is another indicator for me on the 1 minute time frame that I could possibly be on the wrong side, right? Because like I said, I'm looking for this little breakaway gap to be a failed breakaway gap, but I'm also reading price in real time to know that, to see whether I'm going to be right or wrong, right? So in order for me to figure out whether I'm right or wrong, I'm going to be looking at every little thing, right? And this is the difference between experience and somebody who's new. Even if you learn ICT concepts, you have to spend a lot of time back testing. You have to spend a lot of time actually trading as well so that you can learn how to read price in real time, you guys. So this isn't a fast forward video or anything like that. I'm giving you guys everything in real time. So right here, you guys can see I put on another entry, but I moved my stop losses below. I moved my stop losses to this swing high right here on the 1 minute time frame. And the reason why I did that is because we just broke below, right, this green candle right here. This little red candle just broke below this green candle. So these three green candles is going to make an order block, right? So I don't want to see price go above this, right? If it go above this, I just want to be out of the trade because then I know for a fact that I'm going to be wrong on the trade. You guys can see right here, I'm floating just a little bit of profits, $200 to $400 in profit. And, we have barely even went anywhere, right? So, and another thing, I like to review my trades. I know a lot of you guys probably think I'm just, posting my trades just for the likes and things, but I like to review a lot of my trades. So, what I will say is this, right? And this is something I always try to teach to beginner traders. Do not do not scale into scalps, right? This was a scalp because it's only a 50-point take profit that I'm looking for. So this is a scalp. So it would have been smarter for me to not add on more risk to this trade, especially seeing how choppy it was right here. But right here we make pretty much equal lows right there. So now I'm thinking we should at least be able to get below these equal lows, sweep that liquidity, and then see if we can get into this breakaway gap. So let's see what happens right here coming up. So just like these three candles became an order block, this one little green candle right here, as soon as a red candle broke below this candle, that's an order block as well. So I could have even moved my stop losses down right above this high right here. As you guys can see, I would have been pretty much almost taken out if I did. So maybe in real time, that's why I didn't want to do it. But honestly, that's the safer thing to do if you're going to, take a counter trend trade and try to go for a scalp. Because notice how, we're just not breaking down, right? So if you're in a real trade, it's not breaking down the way you want it to. This is why you don't add into these trades, right? Now, one of the beautiful things that I did see was this little fair value gap right here. This became an inversion fair value gap. So when the price hit into it the first time, I wanted to see a bigger movement. I wanted to see much bigger and much faster movement going to the downside, right? And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because this is how you learn how to read price, right? When you see these little small things, it really gives you a clue to what price could actually be doing, right? Because if we're going to be selling off, we should have already been doing it already. And then you guys can see right here, I'm getting greedy, I'm getting stupid. I added on another position, right? In my opinion, it's too much risk for no reason, right? Yes, I was up a few dollars. I was up about 20 points at the most, but it's no reason for me to keep adding on to this trade when it's not really moving as fast as I even want it to move. So the only thing I had left that I somewhat remember this trade. The only thing I had left that could get me back into profits was these little equal lows down here. I was hoping and praying that the market was going to go swipe these equal lows, and that's essentially what happens. And I don't really remember if I had the chance to move my stops into a profit or not. Okay, right here it looks like I'm getting ready to move my stops into a profit. And this just comes from experience, you guys. I knew that okay, I could win on this trade, but I still understand the fact that more than likely I'm going to be wrong, and it's probably not going to give me the type of move that I want, right? Because like I was saying, this little gap down here is a breakaway gap. So it's if price is going to continue to the upside, it's not even going to come down into this breakaway gap. So this is why right here, when I get this little quick movement, I have to be really quick. And you guys see, because look how fast that was, right? Look how fast of a rejection that was, right? So I have to be really quick with moving my stops. And then at this point, I'm just pretty much saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to have to just end up moving these other two trades into profits as soon as possible as well, because this isn't the type of price action that I want, right? And this is one reason why I like to read price on the 1 minute time frame so much. It's not necessary that you learn the lower time frames, but me, I started off kind of backwards. I started off like always watching the 1 minute time frame before I learned ICT. I had a couple bad mentors who pretty much told me that I need to get good on the lower time frame, so I started off on the lower time frames. So you guys can see right here, this is where I know something is wrong, and this is where I just protect my account. I pretty much move this entry into break even, and then I move this stop right here down as much as I could, because I could feel that the market was getting ready to reverse on me, right? So this is how you pretty much manage a trade that's like not that good, because in my opinion, this trade is not that good. Even as a scalp, you know, yeah, it gave me 20 points, but look how cringy it was, right? Look how slow it was for me to make that profit. Now, I did end up making about $800 on this trade. It looked like I made about 341 on one entry, 1725 on another entry, and 226 on another entry. So that's not even 800. That's about close to $600, right? So I did make about 600 on this trade, but you know, it wasn't. I'm not going to say it was the worst of the worst of trades, but the one thing that I know I did wrong was I added to my position, right? And I always stress to you guys, do not add until scalps, right? And the reason why I stress that so much is because I blew so many accounts, you guys. I blew so many accounts, and it was because I didn't understand when I needed to be scaling into a trade, right? I didn't understand when was the best time for me to scale in and when was the best time for me to just take one entry and be happy with whatever the market gave me, right? Because a lot of the times you end up scaling in so big on these small moves, and then once it reverse on you, if you don't have the proper stop loss, if you're not able to trail your stop loss fast enough, it's just not going to really work out for you in your favor. So, and then you guys can see right here. Now, notice this is what I want you guys to notice. Notice how it never reached into this breakaway gap. It never reaches into this breakaway gap, you guys. So I want you guys to notice that because that's very important. This little 1 minute order block right here held price up. And then what you're going to see is that price starts to reverse, right? Look at that right there. So price starts to reverse immediately. So that is another reason why, I've made the wrong move by scaling into my trade, but at least the one thing that I did was trail my stops aggressively, right? Because when it comes to these prop firms accounts, you have to be very protective of your profits, you guys. You have to be very, very protective of your profits. And that's mainly because obviously they only give you a certain amount of drawdown, but that's also because, you can send yourself spiraling out of control if you over leverage on a little scalp like this and you was only going for, so think about this, right? The high right here is at 820 and the low is at 760, right? So that's only a 60-point range right there. As you guys can see, I only was able to get about 20 points of that range. So when it's a very little small scalp you're going for, you're not going to be in at the very high and get in at the very low. So, you got to always think about these type of things, right? So I was off sides, but I was at least able to manage my account well and read price and know that, hey, something is up. I may be off sides right here. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this trade. Drop a like on the channel and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell and use code TRUCKIN if you guys are going to go get a E8 account. Alpha Capital, FTMO, or Funder Pro. Y'all know those are my top 4 prop firms. And I will see y'all in the next video, man. Peace out.